All right, so it's time to come out and start working on all the under dash wiring. So mentioned in the last one, I did all the ignition switch, turn signal switch. I replaced all that, the lock cylinder. This time I'm actually going to come and hook up most of the wiring, well, at least as much as I can, and then not all the wires are going to be used because eventually, like I said, I'll probably go with the digital dash, so any of the tach and all that stuff not going to get used. Probably just, this kit's mostly just for the lighting, for the most part, lighting and the radio. I'm not even sure with maybe the sending unit, but I think the fuel pump and everything, that'll be ran off its own relay, and I think that gets wired into the Holly system, so I might not even use that out of this kit. So I'll end up capping anything off that I don't use. I'm not going to de-pin anything. I'll just cap it all off and tuck it away, so down the road, if I do need it, eventually I don't have to worry about repinning the wire, or just decap it and add anything to it that I need. But yeah, so pretty much it's going to be, if I get this camera to move around, so pretty much just going to be tackling all those wires down there. I think the biggest thing is going to be those wires that are already pinned into that. I think there's an adapter piece. Just had it so clean too. But that's part of working on cars. You clean it, then you get it dirty again. But there's an adapter piece, I think. Something like that. So I don't know if it's one of those or something different, but I'll figure it out. I'll look through the book again and see. I think I was talking to Robbie at Grind School, and I think he mentioned about just cutting that off and pretty much connecting all the wires directly instead of a plug like that. So I'll look into it, but I'm pretty sure there's some things similar to that will get used. Keep looking a little bit. I don't think it's that one, but we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much all it's going to be, just coming out and tackling all these wires up under here. I'll also run the courtesy lights, and then before I mount the shifter in there, and I'll mention that because I will have the neutral safety switch and the backup light switch, so those will be wired on there. I'm still waiting for the 4-speed shift plate for it. So right now it's just a 3-speed shift plate on there. So I have the 4-speed shift plate ordered. Of course it's back ordered, so I don't know when I'll see that, but I think I can still wire up the neutral safety switch and backup light switch. But before I mount that, I will put the dash back in, so that way I know I have enough room from clearing the seat and clearing the dash. But like I said, I'll wire up the courtesy lights, and then I'll go through and wire all these up. I know these two right here that are already have the connectors on it. I want to say the clear one goes on first, and then the black one, if it's switched around, I'll just edit it. Just put on the screen which is the correct way, but I think the clear one goes in first, and then the black one, you just can't put one in at a time. Alright, so you have to put one in first before you can put the other one, because I think the other, they just sit in a place. So it might be something like that, where the black one holds the clear one into place, or vice versa. But yeah, let me put the camera down, have the book there, so I'll skim through the book a bunch, and then the headlight switch wired up also. But yeah, that's enough talking. I'm not sure how I've been trying to keep these videos a little short, so I usually throw like 2 up a day. I do one with like routing the wires and then another one adding the sockets to it. So on this one, I'll probably just throw it all in one, just explaining what I was doing and then getting all the connections put on. But you know, I've had a few people hit me up lately saying my videos have been helping with their builds, whether it be the wiring or just any part of their build. So if these videos help you out, just hit me up, let me know. And like I always say, if there's something I haven't done yet that you guys want to see me pay more attention to when I get to it, just let me know in the comments or hit me up on Instagram. And when I get to that point, I'll be sure to pay a little bit more attention to it. But I put the camera down, get back to work, and I'll catch you guys on here in a little bit. Alright, so this section, it would have helped if I'd have read the instructions a little bit sooner, but everything tends to make sense once you start separating all these wires. It looks like a lot, but it's pretty much already branched off or sectioned off already from the factory. There's a tag on this one, says like see manual page 16. Yeah, not too worried about it. It just talks about like the wires you aren't going to use and what you could do with them. So I think that's what it's mentioned, something like that. Yeah, just different sections of wires and where they go. But not too worried about it. I'll figure it out. So this section here is for like the starter solenoid and a whole bunch of power wires. So that'll be off to the side. Like for the heater, the AC, a wiper switch. So that'll be off to the side. I think I will use a couple of those. I think the cigarette lighter. But I think I already ordered, obviously don't smoke, so there's no cigarette lighter in here, but I ordered the USB like conversion, so you could convert a cigarette lighter adapter to USB. So I already had the little USB port for it, so I might use a couple of those wires. And obviously I think these purple ones are for like the starter solenoid, so they will actually go into like the neutral safety switch and then into the starter. So I'll set those off to the side. This section here, that's obviously for the ignition switch. So these will get plugged in right in here. I'll probably eventually either, yeah, I'll run everything through here. So I'll already ran it over the top. I'll tuck everything behind here, and then if I need to loop it back that way, I will. And all the unused wires, I'll probably just keep wrapped up in here. I'll probably cut them shorter. Yeah, I'll probably cut them shorter and then cap them all off. And that way they're still hidden up in there. Let's see. So that's the ignition switch. These will all go to the turn signal switch. So they already have the pins on there. So I'll go back through and eventually put them all in this little adapter piece. So I'll just plug in or just slide right in there. And it's towards the back, but it tells you where all the different colors are. So yeah, right there it'll tell you, give you a letter on the adapter piece and tell you which slot each wire goes into. So they'll all line up, and pretty sure it won't pick up on camera, but there's different letters all across here. So they'll plug into that. So that's all those. Like I said, they're already sectioned off with little zip ties, so it makes things a lot easier. This section here would all be for the instrument panel. So most of those I probably won't use just yet. I'm not sure when I go with the digital dash if one of these are going to be like power or something for it, so I'll keep all these separated. Like I said, I'll probably might not even have to cut them too much, but probably just be all tucked up in there and capped off. This section here, That's all for the radio. So radio power, light, all that stuff. So obviously I don't have any radio stuff yet, but I'll definitely set those off to the side. This section right here, what is this? It's for the headlight switch. So all these will be plugged into there, or actually pinned into there and then plugged into there. So that's what all those are. And then this is a great debate, the windshield wipers. So I don't think I'm gonna run windshield wipers on here, so those would just be capped off and tucked away. And the courtesy lights I have up here, so they do come with the little adapters for the courtesy lights, and so I'll probably just put them right in here once I figure out where the dash is gonna mount to. But there's a hole right up here. Probably have one on this side, one on the other side, and we'll go from there. I know it's a lot of talking. This side, this is where a lot more wires are, so it's gonna be a little bit longer of a video. I'll try to keep them pretty short, but this one I'm gonna go through, let you guys know which ones I use, which ones I didn't use. And then this is section down here also. These are for the dimmer switch, so they'll plug into right back here, or right in here, the dimmer switch. So I'll plug into there. And this wire here is for the brake warning light, or yeah, emergency brake switch. So there's still actually a wire that I didn't remove yet, right up in there. So it'll be plugged into there. I might, yeah, I'll probably hook it up, even though I'm not sure. I'm not gonna have any indicator on the dash itself, but if I could plug it somewhere and get it out of the way, I'll do that. But yeah, that's pretty much all these wires sectioned off on different parts of the car they go in. So let me put the camera down. I'll start pinning the turn signal switch, and then probably the headlight switch. Get those knocked out of the way. Plug in the ignition switch. That's probably the easiest part. Get that out of the way. And then what's left? Just try to figure out the starter solenoid and all that stuff. So let me put this down. I'll cut it back on. Like I said, I know it's going to be a little bit longer video of me just talking, but I'm going over it for the first time, so I know my videos help some people out, so just trying to answer questions that might come up. But other than that, let me cut the fan back on, cut some music on, and get to it. Alright, so I just got this all pinned up. I'll go over real fast. Like I said, it tells you where everything goes. Everything's, like I said, I'm not sure how good it's going to pick up the letters, but the white one, it says it will go in P, so P would be this first one. But I don't have the integrated turn signals or tail lights. What is it? Yeah, I don't have the integrated lights. They're separate on the back, so the white is not used on this model. So I'll probably just cover that with some heat shrink or some electrical tape and heat shrink and cap that off. But it'll go green, will go in the N. As for your rear, the right rear turn signal. Yellow will be the M, so that's the left rear turn signal. And the LK and the J, the L is it's not right above its port, but it's just the next one over. That'll go purple, and that's just your turn signal power. K is the hazard power. J is for the blue one, and that's the well, it's actually 2 wires plugged into there. So those are both the right turn indicator, so front and rear. And then H, so there's a little gap. And then H will be the next one. That's light blue. And that's a left turn indicator. And G is kind of like, yeah, these top ones are off just slightly, but you just keep going over, you don't skip one. So H is light blue. G is for the black wire, and that's for the horn activation. So D, E, and F are not used, and then the white is not used on my setup. Yours might be different if you have integrated lights, like everything on the same socket. But obviously this one has everything separate, so you don't plug that in. Like I said, I'll cap that off and not worry about it. But this, I think this will close down, lock into place, and then you just plug it into here and we'll call it good. I'll cap that white wire off, put the camera down, and I'll cut you guys back on once I get to the next step. Alright, so next I'm going to get started on the headlight switch. Now obviously, since the dash isn't in there, and I don't think I have the bracket to, yeah, I think it goes in the bezel. So it's going to be hanging for now, but I'm going to pin everything just to get all the wires out of the way. So it's going to be this lead. So it's going to be pretty self-explanatory. I went with the headlight switch from Painless. So when I got, hopefully it's the correct one. It is the 80152. So that's what that is. It comes with its own connectors and whatever you want to call it, little clip or connector piece. So it comes with that, and be pretty much the same thing. Crimp these onto the wires and pin them in there, and then just simple plug and play. So I'll get that all wired up, and then I'll cut you guys back on once I move on to the next step. Just taking my time on this, but I did get the windshield or the headlight switch all wired up. So it's all just color coordinated according to the diagram in the book. So that's all in there. I'll probably I might throw it in some wire loom. If not, throw some fabric tape on it to keep the wires closer together. But like I said, it's getting a little later. You gotta love that view. Probably have one of the best garage views out there. Not just the cars. When it's clear, you get the mountains and everything. Nice sunset. So yeah, gotta take advantage of that. But it's getting late. I'm about to go inside, grab something to eat. I might come out a little bit later and do some more work. But for the most part, the courtesy lights, I think these are split off a little bit. So I think the driver's side, yeah, it's cut off right there. With the ground and the power, I'll have to splice it and wire it off like I did with some of the headlight stuff and some of the tail lights. So that's why they give you a whole bunch of extra. So I'll split it off and have one side run to the driver's side, other side run to the passenger side. And then I think there's the one that's cut down low is for the driver's side door jamb, and then one of the white ones is the passenger side door jamb. So I still have to find the right door jambs that fit. I think if you go to the auto parts store, which none of the ones I have it in stock, but they'll actually, for if it has one plug or two plugs on it, it doesn't matter with this kit. If it has two, you only plug it into one side. If it has one, you obviously just plug it into one. But yeah, so I'll come out, either splice these off and wire them. And this whole section with the instrument cluster, I won't do anything with until I obviously get some type of dash or something. So I'll just tuck this away behind it, and this whole section. It's going to be, I think this is going to be a little bit more complicated with the neutral safety switch and everything, but I'll probably either do that in the morning or later on tonight. But for the most part, they'll just be set to the side. The radio ones, of course, those will be set to the side for later. And these blue ones, so one light blue, one dark blue, one ground. These are the windshield wiper ones, which I'm not using, so those will be capped off and just tucked up in here. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. And these will be the last ones, I guess, for the dimmer switch. So those will be up in here. I think there's a connector or some type of plug that came with the Painless kit for that, so I'll have to pin that also. But let me stop talking. I'm getting hungry, so if I don't cut it back on tonight, I'll cut you guys back on in the morning. You gotta love that view. Let me help you guys out. See if I can zoom in a little bit. It's not the best, but I'll get you guys one of these clear nights and you see the mountains and everything. So yeah, but until then, just doing some wiring. Alright, so it's been a day or two since I last got started on all the underdash wiring. So I was going to come out last night after work. Well, I did, and just ran into one little problem. I was probably overthinking it, but felt motivated. But once I ran into this, I decided to stop, come out in the morning. So the part that I ended up calling it quits on was a dimmer switch. Just with the wiring and everything, mine looks a little different from all the ones I've seen. It's just a little different. So I'm gonna figure it out, and I think from the diagram on the book, the connector would be like that in the car. So this will be pointing forward. So I'm gonna wire it up with the blue and yellow. That's obviously gonna be on the one in the front, and then I'll put the low beam up top and the high beam at the bottom. So that's why I was probably just overthinking it. It probably is that simple. That's all I'm gonna do it for now. If the headlights don't work, I'm gonna know it's the dimmer switch, so I'll probably just have to de-pin them and then I just flip the high beam and the low beam around. So yeah, like I said, I was probably just overthinking it, but that's how the diagram should be in the car. That's how it is in the book. So just flip it around or turn it around. So yeah, I'll figure it out eventually. It comes with the connector in the kit. You just have to pin these 3 wires, which are already sectioned off. So it says blue and yellow. You could kind of see a little bit of yellow in there. It's not as it looks in the picture, but you know what it goes to. So I'm gonna pin these and plug them in. I said I did finish the headlight switch, so I'll get the dimmer switch all wired up, and then I'll move on to the courtesy lights. So these ones, I'll have to cut them and then splice some extensions in to run from the driver's side to the passenger side. So it's 3 of them. You have the door jamb switch is 1, and then you have the courtesy light switches, which those ones you have to, well, those are the ones you have to splice in and wire off and run them to each side. But I showed you guys how I spliced them off when I did the headlights, so I'll do the same thing and get those ran, and probably mount one up here, and then the other one probably will go on this mount. So well, yeah, it might go on that mount, or might just zip tie it out of the way for now. But yeah, the lights, once you start actually connecting stuff, it looks a lot less. So all these will probably be the last thing I do. Well, and the instrument cluster. So I'll have to wait till I get some type of digital dash to hook up all this stuff. So we'll go from there, and then the radio stuff. But let me get to the dimmer switch. I'll probably do the courtesy lights also, and I'll cut you guys back on. Alright, so started thinking I was going to do this all one part, but I really don't like doing longer videos. The watch time isn't there, so I try to keep them a little bit shorter. I did get the courtesy lights and the door jamb switch wires wide off. So this is all the passenger side. You can tell because the passenger side's a lot longer. The driver's side's cut off. So this is the door jamb one. That's the longer one. And then the courtesy lights are the shorter two that I wide off. So are wide off right there. Actually tucked them back in and used some zip ties instead of just the fabric tape, so hold them together a little bit more. What else? I think that's it. Oh yeah, got the dimmer switch all plugged in, so I could have went in and added wire loom or heat shrink and stuff, but I think this section, it's not running through anything. I don't think I have to wire loom it, but I did put these branches like for the instrument cluster, since I'll probably have it running through here because they'll probably plug in directly behind it. So since it's running through metal, I did throw the wire loom there, and then this branch here with all these, I ran just a section behind this plate pretty much is in a wire loom. So I'll keep them together a little bit more with these little branches here, just the radio and the windshield wiper and the courtesy lights. They'll be tucked in this plastic piece, so I didn't worry about throwing them through a loom. It should be okay. Yeah, but this section here, it's going to be, I'm going to need to pay a little bit more attention to, so that's why I'll probably do it on its own video. And then the instrument cluster, like I said, I don't have a dash yet, so I'll probably go with the digital dash. And probably use some of those, if not all of them. I want something that's compatible with the Holley Terminator X, since I already have that. So I could obviously go Holley, and I think there's one other brand. I had a buddy, he sent me a link to it because he has one that's compatible with Holley. So I'll probably go with that one because it's a lot cheaper. So I have to find that link again and look into it. But if it doesn't directly plug right into Holley, if I need to use some of these, they'll be there. If not, like I said, anything I'm not using, I could depin them, but I'm just going to cap them off. Like this wire here, just an accessory wire, super long. You could depin it and run it through the engine bay section if you wanted to use it for something there. I'll keep it in the inside the car, but like I said, it'll just probably be capped off with probably a good amount of these. But yeah, that's it for the under dash stuff for now. The courtesy lights, I do have to put the sockets on, so it did come with them. So it comes with these little sockets, so that obviously just get screwed into there. I think it comes with some self-tap screws also. So it comes with these, and then a whole bunch of connectors. You see how much stuff I have that I'm not even going to use. If you're going to do it, you don't need the Pro Kit, so pretty sure you could pick these up separately on their own. Like I said, I have these connectors and fuses I'm not even using, so the Pro Series probably isn't worth it. I ordered it because I didn't know what I was doing. Just future reference, you probably don't need the Pro Series, but it does come with the pins and everything you need for the courtesy light sockets. So it looks kind of weird, but they're that type. And then it comes with these brass ones also. So on the courtesy lights, you will need both of these. And then I think the curved one plugs into here, and then the brass ones will slide into that hole on top. So that's how I'll do it. And the door jambs, I think they just probably use, I don't know, just regular pin or something. So still have to find the right door jambs for this. Probably stop by an auto parts store on the way into work today, see if anybody has it, or look it up, see if it is at any store on my way. If not, I'll go through and just try to order them again from Amazon or just online. Try to get the right ones this time. But other than that, like I said, it's cleaning up. So the amount of wires that it looks like it should be has definitely gone down. Of course, those will be cleaned up once I plug into the headlight switch, once the dash is in. But the only problem I don't like is these hang down a little bit. I could squish them up there or zip tie them up a little bit, but we'll see. For now, I'll leave them hanging down a little bit. This wire, like I said, it'll be plugged into that one, where that one is now. I think that's a brake switch, so it tells you if your e-brake's on or not. Other than that, I think, like I said, these are all just door jamb and courtesy lights, so those will be right over there. And it's looking pretty good. But like I said, I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit shorter. I used to do 15. Lately it's been 15-20 minute videos. So under dash stuff, I know originally I said it'd be just the whole just one video, but I'm gonna split it in half. I'm gonna do all the other stuff later on. So I'll probably get to it a little bit today, but then I gotta I'll start getting ready for work, so I'll probably be cut short also. But I'll catch you guys back on next time.